Hey, it's Ashley, back with another haircut tutorial. Today, I'm doing a classic gentleman's cut with a number 1 fade on the sides, a hard part, beard trim, and some clean scissor work up top. I'll walk you through each step and explain my techniques along the way. Let's get into it. I start using a number 1 guard and fade up to the parietal ridge to keep that traditional gentleman shape. I really want to make sure that my line is created before I go in and clean up the area, so I kind of remove a little bit of bulk so that I can get into the spot I'm going for, and then I create my guideline to rock my clippers out so that I am making sure I have room to come back in and fade afterwards, and then I'm going to go in and remove some of that bulk out of the hair. So I want to make sure my guideline is created before I really go in and start focusing on removing the bulk. Now, before I move on from this section while I'm here, I'm going to remove my clipper guard and I'm going to start tapering the neckline. I start with my clipper guard closed and gradually open it to blend the transition really smooth. So this is going to help taper. You can see I opened up my clippers and then I'm just going back in and tapering into that number 1 guard. If your number 1 guard is tight enough on your clippers, you should be able to taper it in really smooth. I'm going to go back and put my number 1 guard on, and then we're going to open it halfway to a 1.5 and fade that all the way around the head, maintaining that square silhouette to complement this client's head shape. I'm going to then remove my number 1 guard and put on my number 1.5 guard. Guard's going to help me define and remove any shadows to keep everything blended in my haircut for whenever we move on to our next steps of our haircut. So I'm always trying to set myself up for my next step. So I'm going in with that 1.5 guard, and then I'm going to open it up and move to the other side. So when I'm working with my clippers, I start on my left side, I work my way to my right side, and then I open it and then work my way back to my left and switch my clipper guard. This keeps a smooth haircut and transition, and then it keeps me to know exactly where I am. So I'm going in and just refining that 1.5 guard opened and making sure everything is smooth into that one. So grabbing a number 1 clipper guard so that I can go in and redefine my sideburns before moving on into the beard. I'm going to go in and move into my beard trim. This is because I want to do all of my dry work first, so I go in and I am checking what's going to cut off the most length after I kind of blended in those sideburns so that I can go in and blend them in better later. So I believe this is my number 3 guard, so I am just going to go in and tighten up any loose hairs or stragglers in this beard trim. This is going to help keep everything nice and tight while maintaining the overall balance and shape of his beard. I like to prep this area so that I can come back in and line everything up after it's all cut down. So I'm going in and doing the exact same thing on the other side of his beard. I am taking that guard and I am just cleaning up any loose stragglers and making sure that I'm really rocking those clippers out and brushing it out. You can see I'm grabbing a tighter clipper guard. So if that was my 3, I'm grabbing my number 2 and I am going in and I'm tightening up the tops of my client's cheeks. Now this is because he is already a little bit finer inside of his main area, and if we want this fade to come a little more seamless and give him more weight at the bottom of his beard, I don't want there to be that weight at that top, a blank space in the middle, and then more weight at the bottom. So I went in and I tightened it up with that 2. Now I'm taking my number 2 guard and I'm going back in. What did we leave off with? It was a 1.5 guard open. So my 2 is going to go in seamlessly to the top of this gentleman's cut, and it's going to help it fade in and look really nice and tight so that he's not having any crazy hairs popping up. Sometimes I really just don't like having longer guards at the top of this hard part unless we keep our fade a lot lower and heavier so that we have more weight to sit it on. So taking that 2 and just working myself around the haircut, I am making sure that I am keeping the integrity of the shape on the other side so that we're keeping him a little bit more squared off and not going in and cutting him to the same side as his gentleman's part. You can see we left that side alone, and now I'm going to keep doing my dry work. So if all my clipper work is done, my next job is to go in and do my lineup and the beard detailing. So I grab my trimmers and I start around the ear, cleaning up the beard. My comb's also going to be a big help in cleaning up this beard. It's going to help me pull out the hairs and make sure that my detailing's nice and clean. So let's not forget to clean up our client's ears, both ears, they have two, and then we're going to go around the hairline, cleaning up that ear using our teeth, and then I'm kind of just etching out, fading it in, and then using that guide to create my line towards the back of the neck. So I'm just going to taper that down, and then we tapered the back of the neck so we can just fade it right into the hairline, and then meeting that all the way to the ear. So after I have that shape etched out, I'm going to go in with my trimmers and start at the hairline. I am keeping my client's hairline natural, so I'm just kind of following the guide, and then from his sideburn I'm going to start etching the C shape out on my client, and then once I have that shape, I'm going to go in and start to actually detail and clean up the hair. So my first pass usually is not focused on getting every hair. It's normally focused on creating the line so that we can go in and then clean up that line. And then I'm using my comb and just using some angles so that we can have everything really nice and tapered in. Once the top line's established, I'm going to go and start trimming up my client's mustache. I personally don't like it whenever my clients pull their lips down. It does help to get this area by the nose, but I will ask him to relax his lips so that I can give a nice clean lineup around the mustache itself. So I tell him to relax, and then I go in with the corner of my trimmers and I start to create that line, and then I kind of use my full head of the trimmers, but I really don't want to go in and create that big line. So I'm kind of staying with my edge of them and using like the 3 or 4 teeth to get it really nice and crispy. So that way everything kind of fades together, and then I kind of fade in the edge of the mustache with the beard so that they meet a little better. Once that's finished, I'll go in and create my bottom line on the underneath of the neck. So I'm going in and just going with the direction of the hair growth. Kind of like when you're waxing someone or when you're shaving, you want to go with the direction of the hair growth on a beard, especially on the bottom of the neck. If not, your trimmers do have the opportunity to start nagging on someone's skin or on their hair and creating ingrowns. Using my comb, I'm pulling out any loose hairs that my clippers might not have gotten or that were a little wiry, and just making sure that everything's really nice and lined up. So to keep it in memory, I'm going to go exactly on the other side and just get that crisp lineup all the way around the underneath of his beard so that everything matches and I really don't have to come back to it. So again, I'm using my comb and grabbing any stragglers out to make this lineup really nice and tight. Once this is done, I'm going to start exactly where I started earlier. I'm going to go back to around the ear and around the sideburn. But I'm just coming in using that comb and making sure everything is blended. So we're back at the sideburn, and we're going to repeat the exact same steps, and I'll walk you through them once again. We're going to go ahead and we're going to clean up the edge by the ear and then meet that in with our already lined up beard. And after that, I'm going to clean the ear hairs off my client and then go in and etch out my lineup for the ear and then the back of the neck. Once we have all of those things established, I'm going to make sure everything's tapered on the sideburn and blending in, and you can see I'm pulling my comb out at those same angles just on the other side, and then going in with his natural hairline, and we are just going to take that curve from the mustache and then we're going to meet it back to where the natural sideburn kind of ends. And then once our line's established, we're going to go in and start cleaning up that area a lot better. So make sure you're getting close to their eyes when you're cleaning up a beard trim. You want everything to be nice and smooth, and sometimes they get hair kind of close to their eyes that they don't normally get. So once our line's established, again, we're going to do the same thing. We're moving on to the mustache, and I'm using that comb at a 45-degree angle and really angling my long hair and my short hair towards the bottom so that we have a nice stacked mustache. Once again, after that's complete, I go in and I start my lineup. So I'm trying to clean up my space before I go in and start lining up that mustache. So by doing this, I can really see where I'm going to go in and create my permanent lines. This is, something that everyone looks at on someone's face, so we want to make sure we're taking our time and really detailing it for them. Once that is finished up, I am going to go around and double check my line up and make sure everything's straight on my client and make sure the underneath is all lined up correctly. So I can see, just looking back at this video, that was already kind of curved, and I'm really glad that I'm going in and cleaning it up. Once my beard trim is finished, I'm going to finish up my lineup in the back of the neck. So I am just going in from where I cleaned up around the ears and then getting any neck hairs in the area. So I'm just going to kind of remove my cape and go in and clean up a little extra before I start to dust him off. So if your client is a little extra hairy, you can take your cape off for a second and clean up underneath their shirt, making sure you are getting all of those hairs so that it's not sticking out of his collar. Now we've completed all of our dry work, I'm going to go ahead and wet my client's hair at the top so that I can create a nice sharp area to go in and leave my hard part. So taking my trimmers and kind of moving the hair out of my way with my comb and using my comb as almost a guide to hold that hair back. And then I'm going to go in and just slowly start creating my line. So if anything, I want to take more hair from the short side than the long side. So when we're creating this line, you want to go with the shortest hairs and drag your clippers towards that area and not up towards the long hairs, because then you start moving your line. So I just take my time, and then once I have it established, I'm going to go in and really start angling these trimmers. So I am tapping into the back, and then once I have that back line established, I'm going to start kind of widening up this hard part. So ever so slightly, I am kind of pushing those hairs a little bit wider as I am creating these lines. So you can see I am tapping that trimmer into this back area, so where it's almost not even noticeable, it fades out into it. And then once I have it established, I'm going to go in and really clean up the front. So I widen up the line in the front, and then I kind of tee it off and give him a crisp hairline. And this is ever so slightly. So just to make sure that we have this crisped up, you want to make sure that line looks more like a 7 whenever you are lining it up with your trimmers. So when you're at that angle on the side, you just kind of angle it out. And then just so it matches, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, because my client does like his bangs short, so it will be shown. Once all of that is done, I'm going to blend in my top to my number 2 guard that we finished off this fade with. So I'm using my shears over comb, and I am going at an angle and blending it together. So after I have that first established blend, I'm going to kind of follow it through. So going up a little bit and leaving some more length, I am going with my comb and letting that short hair fall out, and then cutting anything longer to match. So we're keeping an angle because we do want to kind of give more of a square shape to the top of this head. And once our blend's established, we're going to pull up the top and trim off the bangs. This is going to be to our desired length, and then I am making sure that it is even across all of them. Once we have them completely even, I will create my mohawk guideline. So I'm just making sure that they match, and then I'm going to go in and pull up that hair. Now our bangs are going to be our guide for our mohawk. And then if you remember, all of our bangs are the same length because we made sure just now that they were. So we can use our mohawk guide from any point of the bangs. This is why I created it like this, so that we can work through. So I am making sure that I'm meeting all the way to the back of the head, and that I am blending it with that number 2 as well. Once that is done, I'm going to pull up my sections, and we're starting on our left side, and I'm pulling it up to meet at that mohawk guide and then cutting it to match. So I'm just going to follow it all the way to the back of the head, pulling up that section, and then cutting it to match that mohawk guide that we just created. So once that is finished, I'm going to move on to the right side, and we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm keeping everything square. I am not tilting on this side at all, making sure that this length is almost like the longest length, but it does match everything. So we're pulling it up and matching it to that mohawk guide that we've previously created. This is a good way to come in and make sure everything's the same length. We're going to double check ourselves. So I'm going in and I'm pulling up the bangs, and then our bangs should be the same length as everything in the front, right? So we can kind of follow that guide, and then we already cut everything to match our mohawk section. So anything that's sticking out is just not even. So I'm pulling up, trimming any corners. Now these corners might be very small and tedious, but they are there. So I'm just following it through. I'm even going in and double checking that mohawk guide because it probably got a little chopped up as we went through and cut. So we're just making sure every single section in this haircut is the same length and creating a very pristine section. This cross check is going to get different angles, making sure everything is even and very symmetrical. So my client kind of likes to pop up his bangs, and so I'm making sure. You can see right here that our cowlick is not fully blended in. This is how I'm going to get it. We're going to pull out to where our line kind of tapers off, and we're going to over direct that hair, and then we're going to follow it through to where we previously blended with that number 2 guard. And this should give us a very seamless blend, and when product's in the hair, it should go in so smooth. Even without product, you can see that this hair just like blends really easy without leaving that back area super long. Thanks for watching. I hope this tutorial helped you pick up a few new techniques. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more real barber content. Let me know what you want to see next: fades, beard transformations, or styling tips. See y'all in the next video. Here's my before and after. Hope you enjoyed.